Welcome back to the Billabong Pro Tahiti. We have a couple of heats left in round two. Round two, heat 11 features Dusty Payne representing Hawaii and Connor Coffin representing California. A place called Santa Barbara with a wave called Rincon in his backyard. Dusty also has a famous right-hander. Their parents that are all watching the action go down right now. Dusty decides to take the first wave of the matchup, and he'll go to turns. First blow under the lip. Nice and solid from Payne. Backhand wrap. And he'll throw in another backside carve. He's got a lip to hit. He'll lose the finishing move in a really shallow section of the reef. He's trying to lay flat there. He's still fired up, and he's already on his way back out.
Yeah, that was definitely a step in the right direction for Dusty. Obviously, his round one heat, he'd like to forget really quickly. It was one of those really slow heats, three-man heats, and Dusty failed to catch a wave. So already round two, he's looking a lot better, opening his account here. I like the fact Connor just let him go, no hassling involved. These guys respect each other. Dusty straight up through the lip and then straight into another turn. So just trying to get that mojo happening. You know, Dusty's such a confident surfer. When, you know, once he gets that ball rolling, Joe, you can just tell that confidence starts building. He starts turning a lot harder, putting a bit more into his maneuvers.
Calling it perfect surfing in the past because he's so lethal in the air, especially when he's switched on. We've got Connor now pulling in. He's trying to slam on the brakes. And that one's just going to land right on his head and take out Coffin. And first wave in for Dusty at a 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. I mean, it's not a huge score and probably won't factor in towards the end of this heat, but just a good settler, Joe. Just one of those medium range waves. I mean, you know, anything could have happened right there on that first turn. It was a critical one, little free fall drop, and I think that's where all the points came from.
So we see the difference in the challenge of looking for a game plan. Obviously, Connor trying to start for the barrel here.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's going to be those ones. This wave looked like it wanted a barrel, but then as soon as it got through that inside, you can see that lip just kind of connecting with his head and pushes him down, flattens him on his board, and just not what you want to happen on your first wave. Well, you know what, Joe, it's one of those things you don't know until you're actually out there. I mean, you know, that first exchange determines everything.
Now Dusty makes a move, locks into the barrel, still staying wide open, and he was trying to force that exit over the foam ball. A tough one for Dusty as he gets sent out the back, incomplete. Now it's Connor's turn. Coffin locks in. Looks like he'll just kick out quickly. So this one's starting off with pretty slow score spots.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of heats like this. These guys just trying to work out the lineup, just trying to get themselves in position. And obviously very tricky, you know. I think it's really hard to pick the wave that's going to open up wide. I think you've got to wait for the bigger ones with that tide coming in. I think from what Pete was telling us, at 2 o'clock high tide, Dusty Payne grabs the rail, tries to pull it up nice and high, but that wave just really sort of shut down on him. And very difficult to come out of something like that. So Dusty Payne, a slight edge right now over Connor with that 3.50.
All right, well, let's hope some swell shows up for you the rest of the round. Congratulations.
Nat Young moving on to the next one. Happy to survive a round two matchup. Connor Coffin now sliding his tail out a little bit, trying to find the pocket, and he'll go to turns. Couple of hacks off the top and into the dry reef. A challenging wave to ride. Connor finally gets out of there.
You know what, it's a challenging wave to ride when it's hard to make up your mind what you want to do. I think sometimes you see a lot of these guys will try and look for that barrel and then halfway through the wave realize that it's not on offer and then have to just kind of hit the reset button halfway through and go back to turns. By then half the wave's done, so it's going to be really hard to manufacture a big score.
And obviously the day like today, Pods, talking to that strategy. Am I looking for the barrel? When it's big, it's obvious. That's all you're worried about. You don't even have to think about a turn. We've seen 10s go for guys just kicking out with still open face left on a big barrel. Where was the decision making going here?
Yeah, you can see Connor obviously realizing there that the barrel was not on offer, so going to turns. Have a look at this one though.
Little bigger wave for Dusty Payne. Free falls right into the pit. He gets shacked and spit out into the open face. He'll just carve back to the pocket to show he's got total control. Another weaving cutback, and Payne gets out, turning in the best number of the matchup so far.
Absolutely. I mean, that was just a pure situation of, well, Connor went the first one, Dusty waited. You know, it's really hard to know that there's going to be two good waves in a set, and it's really hard to pass that first one up. It takes nerves of steel. Dusty Payne falls out of the sky, sets that rail beautifully, comes out with a lot of speed, a lot of confidence. I love those transition turns, getting that board all the way back around. Dusty Payne starting to look dangerous.
Great to see Dusty in this kind of rhythm on tour.
Sort of wind in his sails, so to speak. He can pretty much do anything, you know, once he gets that confidence going. As you said, he turned that heat around real quick and literally walked away with the win quite easily. But he needs to get pushed, I think.
Talking to Dusty about that percentage on the fan vote, and Dusty just was so confident, comfortable in his own skin, just happy he got to showcase his talent. He was backing himself for a win against the heavy names on tour. Dusty now gets barreled, throws it vertically. This wave's starting to corner at him, and he's letting go a bit. He'll blow the tail out. He won't get credit for the finish, but he's still improving on his scoreline against Connor Coffin.
7.17 on that wave before, so Dusty's starting to crank it up. 17 minutes and 45 remaining now. Connor's still got plenty of time to answer back. It's almost like there's a little bit of a pulse in the swell right now. A lot more waves in this heat than we've seen so far today. Dusty fighting his way through that. How did he pull that off? And then straight into this there. We talk about the confidence level. Once it's up for Dusty, then he feels like he can do anything. And that's what I like to see from Dusty Payne. I mean, the kid's got so many tricks in the bag. So powerful, so strong. And just the way to fight his way out of this one right there and then straight into this turn. That was amazing stuff right there from Dusty. Looking to improve on a 3.5, Joe.
So impressive to see the control on his backhand attack here when it comes to that inside corner. He wanted to blow the fins out. He's one of those new school surfers that came on tour, and I think he wanted to showcase that progression meter and how much surfing has evolved. He's got so many weapons in his arsenal. That's why I think everyone expects him to be a top 10 guy. When you watch him free surf, he's doing the biggest airs in the business, matched with power, and now he gets to showcase his ability inside the tube.
Yeah, he's one of the best tube riders too. I mean, you know, he's honed his skills on some pretty amazing waves at home. So, you know, no surprise to me that Dusty Payne surfs well at Chopu, surfs well here.
Connor had a big name in those regions in the NSSA divisions growing up. He always was going to be a big name in the future, and now living through his rookie season on tour, he got a wave during that little bit of a break.
Yeah, a little cover up to kick things off and then a couple of nice turns. So Connor just trying to find some rhythm, and this was definitely a step in the right direction for him. 13 minutes 40 to go, and at the moment in a sort of a marginal combination situation. 12.51 required, so this is going to get him out of that. There it is, a 5.57. Now Connor searching for a 6.94, so things looking a little bit better for Connor Coffin. He needs to turn things around.
Connor still chasing a 6.94 as we think about the recap. Round 2, heat number 11. Really got underway with Dusty Payne. Big free fall drop, getting into the barrel, earned himself the best number of the heat so far.
You know what, he had a shocker around 1, and I'll tell you what, he has turned it around amazingly. Dusty Payne, just a whole different competitor. It's amazing what a day can do. Dusty Payne comes out the blocks firing with a 7.17. Backed it up with this one. How did he come out of that? Well, he's a strong kid, rattles off a couple of big turns. Dusty Payne finds himself in the lead. 7.17, 5.33. Connor Coffin, though, is fighting back, Joe. Have a look at this one. Slides into a nice, tight little barrel. Not a long one, not a deep one, but I tell you what, it's a step in the right direction. Connor Coffin now searching for a 6.94, time ticking away, 5 minutes 45 seconds remaining. Connor needs to find priority, needs to get himself out the back and wait for one of those good ones. He needs something in that 7-point range, Joe.
Such a solid approach on the backhand of Connor Coffin, a guy who's a rookie, but we know if it was absolutely gigantic, he definitely was ready to charge.
Absolutely. I mean,
so while we were away, we actually had Dusty take a wave right here, and this ended up having him lose priority, and then Connor took this wave right behind him. Connor getting a beautiful barrel to get spat out, little down carve, and then kicked out. So an important exchange we just saw go down, Potts.
Yeah, beautiful technique, beautiful positioning right there from Connor. You can see him just keeping in touch with that wave, that front hand, just feeling the energy. Gives him an idea of whether to speed up or slow down. Connor timed that one absolutely perfect. 6.94 required on that occasion. Dusty Payne managed to get back out in time to get priority. 4 minutes 40 to go. Big scores dropping Dusty Payne took off on the first wave of the set. Connor waited, got the second one. Joe?
An 8.17 for Connor Coffin, getting the wave during the heat recap where we're thinking he's going to need a little bit more. Passing the 5-minute warning. Payne takes the first wave, falls, and Connor ends up making him pay for it, getting the high single wave with Dusty going down. 30 seconds on the clock. They're starting to shift a bit as we've got a wave with a little more west in it. Dusty's got a chance to fight back. It's got to be at least a 6.58. First wave goes through unridden, and Dusty's got to hope this next one's even better.
Well, Dusty having a look.
Down to 15 seconds. He locks in. He'll slam on the brakes. He gets nice and deep. He gets the completion. Throws up a little claim, and he starts to carve. Got more open face to work with. Jams it off the lip, and Dusty's trying to save himself right on the buzzer. It's going to be a very close decision. He got barreled, did some hacks. You can see Seabass in the distance. He thinks it's enough. And now it's all up to the man upstairs.
Oh my goodness. Is that going to be enough? You can see the top left-hand corner awaiting for scores. 6.58. Has Dusty done enough? Let's have a look. Takes off. Beautiful wave here. Slides into it. Disappears. Now you can see him come out nice and clean. A little bit of a fist pump right there. Maybe could have nailed that backside turn a little bit more, and then almost a little bit off balance right there as well. So really just filling in the gaps at the end of the wave, but this is where the points are going to come from. Slides in nice and perfect. Untouched as he comes out the end. A 6.58, Joe. This is the exciting part of our sport right there.
Getting a chance to answer back, and he got barreled and started drilling some backside turns. How'd you like his approach on the takeoff?
Yeah, just straight into it. I mean, perfect technique. You know, those kind of things, I mean, you can't teach that. That's just feel. That's just understanding the energy of the wave. You know, where that wave's going to break, how quick it's going to break. That's all just natural instinct for these guys. Scores drop, Joe.
It's a 7.10 for Dusty Payne, the wild card on tour this year, taking down another big name of the sport. Rookie Connor Coffin got the 8.17, got him back in the mix. All Payne needed was one more chance. Perfect surfing to pay that one off as he moves into round 3 action.